Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to yet another episode of the podcast En la Casa para la Raza. And on today's episode, we have the one and only DJ Don Juan. How are you, DJ Don Juan?
Loyal, what's happening? How are you, my brother?
Yeah, good, man. Good. Hey, look, brother, first of all, I want to say thank you very much for being part of the podcast En la Casa para la Raza. Peeps, putting our hands together for DJ Don Juan En la Casa.
Thanks for having me, bro.
No, all good, man. Thank you. Hey, I hit you with the first question. Who is DJ Don Juan for the ones that don't know? Obviously, we know, but for the ones that don't, that are watching.
Okay, well, I started out on Pornhub. No, I'm
joking. Nice. That's the first, bro. That's the first of the podcast. Nice.
No.
Yeah, but only fans?
Only fans? No, they wouldn't take me, bro.
Oh.
It's a long story. We don't have time.
Okay.
Nah, well, look, DJ Don Juan. Okay. I started out as a DJ and first with English music, but as I was getting older, I wanted to get in touch with my Latino roots. So I wanted to come up with a name that represented who I was.
Nice.
Obviously, when I was growing up, when I was in school, I've got 4 names. So when I was in school, I used to get teased a lot because of my 4 names. So the only real Australian name I had was David, Juan David. So
right. So your name would be like Juan David and then 2 last names?
No. I've got Juan David, Horacio Arturo, and then my 2 surnames.
Wow. That's a lot
it's fucked up. My parents are anyway, so what happened was we used to get into a lot of fights at school, and they used to call me 1, 2, 3, 4, blah blah blah. You know how kids are in Australia.
Yeah.
So they told my mum to use David. So anyone that knows me from school knows me as David. But then when I wanted to stay touching my Latino roots, Juan became a little bit cooler. When Ricky Martin and all that started coming out.
Nice.
So I used the name Don Juan, and then the rest is history.
Nice, man. That's epic. So when did you decide to start DJing, or was that the main thing you started doing, or did you play instruments or do something else prior to that in music?
Look, I've always been a bit of a business person, a bit of a hustler.
Right.
I used to go to the golf courses and find the lost golf balls and sell them back to them for $1. That type of thing that you do in Australia when you're growing up. I used to dub tape VHS as porn. Speaking of porn, I used to sell them back to my schoolmates.
That's awesome.
Internet. So I've always been a bit of a businessman, and wanting to get into my Latin roots. My mother was a big influence with me. She'd be cooking or cleaning on a Saturday, Sunday morning, and she'd have the old salsa records playing. And so I just wanted to become a DJ. And then when I obviously realized that there was some money to be made, it sort of influenced the direction I took. At the start, I've always done, if I can't find a job, I'll make it happen myself. At the start, when I couldn't get any gigs or no one would give me a chance, I just done my own parties.
Crazy. So when was that roughly? Were you like, say, late teens or something like that, or?
Yeah, late teens. I would have been around 18 or 19, and I've basically done it all my life.
Crazy. What were your influences, Juan, like coming up in the game? Would you say that it was like, wanting to make it, that hustler ability, or was it like a specific DJ or whoever?
Look, I've got to give props to a DJ which I used to see. There used to be these Chilean parties at the Bodney pools in Sydney, Chilean independence. It always signified the end of winter and the start of spring, and it was just a magical time. And there's these pools, there was like 10,000 people.
Wow.
The good old days. And Dante Rivera, he was a little bit older than I am, so he was always there.
Shout out Dante, man. Yeah,
shout out to Dante. So He was my first real. Oh, that's what a DJ is. That'd be cool.
Nice, man.
I didn't become a DJ because of him, but it sort of pointed me in the right direction.
Right. Hey, that's awesome. Because you're from the southwest, right? You're from Sydney. Well, originally you're from Colombia, yeah.
No, I'm born in Australia, born and
Oh,
bred.
you're born.
Yeah,
Just
my
your
parents are
parents.
from Colombia. Yeah,
Yeah.
but I grew up in the eastern suburbs, man. I'm not west.
Oh, you're not
West
from the
Indian.
southwest. Oh, right.
No, well, the thing is, a lot of the Latinos originally weren't. They all came to the eastern suburbs there, and they moved out. There was a lot of people from East Lakes, Hillsdale,
Yeah.
eastern suburbs, Sydney, and they moved out to the west when it was time to buy a house or move on.
Yeah.
That's when they all moved out to Fairfield and Liverpool and stuff like that.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I see what you're saying. Yeah, because that would have been around the era where I started coming here, and I'm like, obviously, that was already Latino based. That whole side, like Fairfield. Fairfield was like the main area that I landed in.
Yeah.
But another question, Juan, why do you think you have been so successful? I look at you like one of the most successful Latin DJs in Australia, period. Why do you think you specifically have been so successful compared to everyone else at, throughout times?
Okay. Look, not everyone can be successful.
Yeah.
Not everyone, if it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. I'd have to say persistence. If you bang your head on the wall 10 times and, on the 10th time, it's not going to hurt as much.
Yeah.
It's persistence. I'd like to think too, because I've got a bit of an Aussie side, I have the best of both worlds. I use my Latino side and my Aussie side to get the best. And I guess it's just been a combination. I have been lucky. I can't say, a lot of things are in the right place at the right time. But persistence, just keep on knocking on that door. And if it's meant to happen, it'll happen.
Yeah, crazy persistence. And also I think like how you said, like, because you have an Aussie side to you, you're born and bred here as well. Obviously you're Latino, but born and bred here as well.
There's a bit of a discipline.
Yeah,
it's different.
I think like also the language is like a double-edged sword, right? Like if you can maneuver on the Latin side, but you can also go boom this side,
Yeah, well, business wise, it has helped me a lot. Australia, whether you agree or disagree, still a racist country to some extent.
Yeah.
And if you knock on the door and you sound ethnic, you might not get the same response as someone sounding like myself.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
So what were some of the clubs that you were part of or events that you were part of in Sydney? Just to name a few, because obviously you've been a part of a lot of things,
Man, it's endless. Look, it's something that I've been blessed with, because you look at other promoters or other DJs and they're known for one or two or three different events.
Yeah.
But over 20 years, I've been involved with a lot of bangers.
20 years. You've been in the game for 20 years already?
Yeah, I started in 92, and
wow.
Obviously you do the math. Oh no, sorry, 30 years. Wow.
30 years? Damn, bro. 30 years.
2022. Yeah. Next year's my 30 years.
Can we put our hands together for that right there, man? Don't fun, man.
Still going strong
in the game. Oh man, 100%. Obviously, I've been rocking up to your parties and stuff. The latest one I rocked up to was amazing. That was dope.
Yeah. Well, look, they're all different. They're all catered to different styles, and it's just the time. Like it's funny because I have parents, and then their kids come to the clubs, and then they're like, "Oh yeah, my mum used to come," and I'm like, "Are you my son?"
You're my son, yeah. That's crazy.
So
little
it's funny.
Yeah,
Junior's out there somewhere.
Yeah. Crazy, man. Well, I was gonna get to the question of like, you coming to Brisbane and obviously establishing yourself over here as well. But what were some of the artists that you brought to Australia that you think were the, influences for us to also do what we do, because obviously I got to see a few through you, and yeah.
Yeah, well, look, just on that point, I've never really seen myself as I'm from Sydney or from Brisbane I'm from Australia, and I've always, even from the
Right.
Colombian thing, you know, a lot of people, oh, I'm Colombian, I'm this, I'm that. I'm Latino.
Yeah. Yeah.
I've had to grow up and stick together. I've done independence parties, and I've represented every nationality there is.
Yeah.
So, look, there's in that same reason, you know, I've done it with the artists that I've brought through. I've brought Don Omar, Nicky Jam, Julio Voltio, Niejo Hidalmata, who else?
Oh, so Ñejo came to Australia as well. Ñejo el Broco, yeah.
Jolie, Randy. I've brought quite a lot of artists.
Oh, that's crazy.
Or I've bought them directly as I'm the main person, or I've teamed up with people from different states and done different cities.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Oh, that's amazing. And I think like also that's it's so needed, you know, it's needed because it keeps the game going like in Australia, and obviously it gives us inspiration, you know.
Yeah, it's needed, but sometimes you don't get the love or the support in return, which is hard because
yeah,
in the end it's a business, and if you lose money, you can't keep on doing it.
Yeah.
And you know, that's how all business is. If it was that easy, everyone would be doing it. But I pretty much lost money or being close to breaking even in every international artist I brought.
What do you think?
It's just how it is.
What do you think that is? Because we don't have the enough numbers, do you feel? Or
we've got the numbers. Look, it's a
mentality.
It's a tough one. It's a tough one because when I bring an artist, I go, oh yeah, every Latino is going to support me.
Yeah.
Nah. If it's a Colombian artist, every Colombian is going to support me. Nah. Basically, it's the artist and who likes that artist
specifically.
Yeah, and it's always you get the similar amount of numbers. Look, it makes sense. You're not going to go see an artist that you don't enjoy.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah,
there is a certain element of people that you think, okay, well, you know, there's only one international or two internationals that come out here a year. Why not go and see them? You know, you go and see Justin Bieber. Those concert tickets sell out straight away. But you know, the Latinos wait till they go on sale right at the last minute.
Yeah. That's true. That sounds like us for sure. But no, that's crazy. So you would say that it's a bit of a risky subject to do that, right?
Oh, it's not a bit. It's a risk. It's massive. Look, you can lose a lot of money.
Yeah.
There has been people that have lost a lot of money bringing artists from overseas, and that's probably why they don't come as often, just because it's so risky.
Plus, it's far too, right? Like I was having a chat to some of the other peeps in the culture, and they were saying that to bring people here, obviously from Latin America, they can just go straight to the States, you know, a couple of hour flight, and there, you know.
If they come out for 2 weeks or 3 weeks to do one gig or two gigs, they've missed out on 2 or 3 weeks worth of work in South America or in America or even Europe.
In Europe,
like half an hour away, you're in another country. It's not easy. They really have to want to come to Australia, otherwise it's very hard to get them to say yes.
Yeah, exactly. But I think obviously that's why I think you are who you are here in Australia, because you also take those risks, right?
Yeah, unfortunately.
Hey, changing the subject a little bit. When did you decide to sort of come to Brisbane, obviously, or where you're living now, and start, you know, getting into or running all the events over here?
Well, look, like I said, I don't really see myself
from a certain place.
Yeah, basically, I'll look. At the moment, I'm doing events in Noosa, Brisbane, Gold Coast, Darwin, Sydney once it reopens, Byron Bay. I'll do events anywhere.
So that's just to name a few. I've got a few here. So in Noosa, that's Fiesta Mondays, right?
Correct. Yes.
Then you got Gasolina, or you're part of that one as well? Gasolina and Blackbird?
Yeah, I do that with DJ Oscar, one of the legends from Brisbane.
Yeah. Shout out Oscar. Hey, he was on the other day. The Limes Hotel, a rooftop bar, like what's that called?
Correct.
What's that party called?
Fiesta as well. Fiesta's the brand I like to use all over. I've been using that brand since the year before the year 2000s.
Oh, right. Okay.
In Sydney.
That was cool, man. I really loved it, obviously. And, you know, the video thing that we're talking about, straight away, I'm like, yep, this is the spot. This is where we're going to do it. I loved it.
Nice.
That's sick. So at the same place, you also, I think, have the Afro Republic rooftop party.
Yeah, we just had an Afro Republic event last Sunday. It was pretty cool.
Yeah. And in Gold Coast too. So you got a Fiesta Gold Coast pool party.
Yeah, the Hilton. It's going to be across summer. We've got 4 or 5 events across the summer, once a month.
That's going to be at the Hilton.
Yeah, the Hilton pool.
Wow, that sounds dope. I got to check that out, bro. Get me in, please.
Done. I think I know the promoter.
Nice. Yeah. And then obviously the one at Byron Bay, which you have told me about, and I've always been wanting to make it, but I haven't been able to.
From a performer's point of view, you have those special events that you go, oh yeah, I really like the vibe. And Byron Bay's is special, man. It has a different vibe to everywhere else.
I remember I got a job, like I did a favor for someone. I drove for Tropical Quest? No, De La Soul. I drove for De La Soul. We took De La Soul to the Beachy Hotel over there, and they performed there and stuff. And we spent like a whole week over there. That was cool, man. I've never been to Byron Bay before. Obviously, it was just such a cool vibe, man. They went hard over there, eh? And I think we went to that club where you guys run the event. There was like a reggae club, like an underground.
Yeah, they have stuff there. Yeah.
Yeah, it was pretty crazy, pretty crazy stuff. I loved it. And then you also have the Latin Quarter Latino Fiesta in Darwin at the Opium. Yeah, what's that like?
Yeah, it's cool, man. You know, there's Latinos everywhere, bro. We're taking over slowly. Yeah, it's cool, man. Darwin is actually one of the last places I ever have DJ'd at in Australia or New Zealand. I've DJ'd everywhere else up until this last month ago when I did Darwin. Yeah, but it was a bit of a bucket list, but yeah, it was cool, man. Like I said, there's Latinos and Latino lovers everywhere.
Yeah, no, that's awesome. Is that like something that you're going to continue, or it's just a one-off for the moment?
Yeah, we've got one coming up in a couple of weeks again.
Nice.
And we're looking at maybe a monthly or every 2 months.
Oh, that's cool, man. That'd be awesome. Because I heard a lot about Opium, actually, man, through all sorts of different people, and seems to be a pretty dope club.
It's I don't think it's the biggest nightclub in Darwin, but I know it's the second or third, and it's massive with the urban market. Yeah.
So Juan, what are some of the future plans for DJ Don Juan, like in general, in these later years?
Man, look, I've got to continue doing what I love doing, which is DJing and running events. That's what I'm good at. Yeah. I'd love to bring in some more international artists in the future. I've got a couple of DJs and a couple of people that, fingers crossed, will be coming in next year.
Nice.
And just on a business level, just trying to take my knowledge and my networks into a level that'll pay the bills.
Nice, bro. Oh, that's what's up. With that being said, that you're bringing a few artists, or hopefully a few artists are going to come to Australia. If you had the chance to bring anyone, who would you think you would bring here to Australia in the Latino community, I guess, today in time?
Okay. Look, that's a tough question, because it depends on the style of music that you think. But you know, anyone like Mark Anthony or Daddy Yankee would be amazing.
I think Daddy Yankee would be dope, because obviously for the vieja escuela and the nueva escuela. Obviously, like we all sort of grew up idolizing this dude because he was the one that blew up reggaeton and whatnot, you know. So
Yeah,
I think
I've actually negotiated with them a few times, and just that what they're after is just.
are you for real? So you've been able to have conversations with Daddy Yankee
Yeah,
about
those type of artists, they want you know, you're looking at around
big
50
money, yeah.
minimum entourage. That's
Far
dancing.
out.
Yeah, so you know, just alone on
Wow.
flights, if you
50 minimum just entourage, period.
yeah, or even they want a private plane. So
Are you talking about 50 people or 50 lucas?
50 people.
50 people entourage.
Yeah.
Holy
And
crap.
you're looking at around 200K plus on just per performance.
Per performance. So that would be like Brisbane, 200K.
200, Sydney 200. Melbourne,
Far
200.
out, man.
And 200 is probably you 250 or 300.
Wow, that's crazy, man.
Oh, man, that's what they make. That's what they get.
That's insane, bro. That's crazy. Man, make sure you get me on a feature or something, bro. Like,
Will you say you can bring your 50?
yeah, man. Like, you know, I'll do it for 10 grand, bro. It's all good for you. Anything, you know what I mean? That's so cool. That's so crazy, man. But oh, man, that's awesome.
Man, look,
that, you know.
I brought Don Omar, and the stuff they want on their riders sometimes is amazing. Like he wanted a bulletproof car, and I'm like, you don't need a bulletproof car.
A bulletproof car here.
Yeah.
Wow, that's insane.
Yeah, and I had to have 24-hour security. I had one of my friends, security guard, who would sit outside his door and sleep on the door.
That's true. Wow,
yeah, it's crazy.
That's insane.
Crazy.
Well, I guess like you know, where they're from or whatnot, or the States or whatever, it's probably like pretty hectic. That's just
there'd be 20, 30 groupies knocking down the door.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, that's true. It doesn't quite happen with me, like the same thing here, but I see what you're saying. Yeah. That's crazy, man. So
one day.
Hey, yeah, man, nice.
One day.
Yeah, of course. I just need your connections and we'll make that happen. Hey, mira, DJ Don Juan, where can people find you at right now if they want to find you? Because obviously you have one of the biggest social media networks I've ever seen. So where can they find you if they don't know who you are? Or if they want to find out more about you?
Obviously, just type on Facebook Don Juan or Don Juan Entertainment, and something will come up.
Don Juan Entertainment.
I'm about to launch my new website, which is www.latino.land, and that's basically going to be a bit of a directory for all Facebook, social media communities, Latino worldwide.
Nice.
Which is something that I've been working on quite a lot, especially recently during the pandemic. We're about to hit 1 million members. We get about 2,000 members a day joining organically.
Wow.
So once Latino.land drops, I think it's going to be another level.
Wow, that's insane, man. Well, mira, DJ Don Juan, I just want to thank you so much, not just for being on the podcast, but also for putting in 30 years in the game and giving us the inspiration to do what we do also. But
29 next year. I haven't made it to 30 yet.
All right, 29. But you will, though. You will, right?
Yeah. Easy.
Hey, Don Juan, muchísimas gracias for being here on the podcast en la Casa para la Raza. We'll put our hands together for DJ Don Juan acá una vez más. My brother.
Thank you for having me.
Nah, man, thank you. And we'll talk soon.
Okay, hermano. Ciao.
Gracias. Ciao, loco. So there you have it, ladies and gentlemen. DJ Don Juan, one of, if not the biggest Latin DJ for Latin music here in Australia, period. Don Juan, thank you very much for taking your time out to come through and be part of the podcast en la Casa para la Raza. Make sure you go check out all his social medias, all these events coming up. That dude is is definitely a Latino DJ workaholic, and he's obviously part of our culture and our history here in Australia as well. DJ Don Juan, lo viste acá, you seen it here en la Casa para la Raza. You already know what to do. Subscribe on the button down below, hit the notification bell, and we'll catch you guys on the next one. Vámonos.